Hello everybody, it's your boy Redstone Nix here and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we are going to be checking out the brand new Minecraft 1.21 Tricky Trials update, which adds in a bunch of new blocks, items, weapons, and even a new type of dungeon that you can explore in your Minecraft world. Now, before we get right into all of that, you know the drill. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that, guys, let's begin today's video. Okay, guys, so I'm in my adventurer's gear once again, and we are going to start off in this village right here, and we're going to go into this building to show off our newest item, the first one, which is the crafter, which is this baby right here. So to make the crafter, you just need 5 iron ingots like this, as if you were crafting a helmet, 1 crafting table, 2 redstone dust like this, and 1 dropper right here to make the crafter. So as for what the crafter is a new block that allows you to craft items using a redstone signal. It will eject one crafted item at a time from the front face of the crafter. The redstone crystals on the corners on top lights up when activated. So let me show you. So I'm gonna grab this gold and a stack of apples right here because we are actually gonna craft some golden apples. So as you can see, there's the golden apple right here, but I cannot grab it, because that's the thing. You cannot manually grab it out of the crafter, because the idea is that when you get, like, let's say a button, when you press it, it will eject the crafted item like so, which is very handy, I must say. Or if you want to do it a little bit faster, instead of a button, you can do a lever, and then just make them pop out as much as you want. So, and you have golden apples for days. So some other things is that if you put a chest, barrel, dispenser, etc. in front of the crafter, it will automatically go right in it. So let's say you want to make a bunch of iron blocks, so let's put all this iron right here. So, and then if you set something up like this, like with 2 observer blocks, you can do this. The crafter will rapidly create the stacks of iron blocks, like so, and it will automatically go right into the chest, which is very handy, especially. So that way you don't have to always use hoppers just to put them into containers, like so. And you can even go a little step further by making something like this, which I made this semi-automatic log converter. So another cool thing about the crafter is that you can toggle the crafter slots and disable or re-enable them to adjust the crafter for any recipe you want to autocraft. Note that when items are inserted from other blocks, it will prioritize the first empty slot, from left to right and from top to bottom. So pretty much these white squares right here mean that they're disabled. So doing this will re-enable them. So this will mean that items will only go in this slot right here because I've disabled the rest. Which works out pretty well because when you put a bunch of logs up here, they will automatically get turned into planks down here. And as you can see, if you have 2 observer blocks with the faces facing each other, it will automatically craft them rapidly, like so. And this is not the only thing you can do with crafters, so let's head down here real quick. You can go a step further and make fully automatic farms, which I have a automatic paper farm and sugarcane farm. So the idea is that when the sugarcane is harvested, it will go into those hoppers, down to that crafter, which will automatically craft it into paper right here. Like so. And the same thing goes for sugar, so you can really go above and beyond with these crafters, making a fully automatic paper or sugar factory if you wanted to. Okay, so now that we've seen that, let's move on to the next new thing that was added. Okay guys, so the next new thing that was added is that we got 20 new paintings right here. So as you can see all around me, these are some of the new paintings that were added right here, and they look really good, I must say. So another new way to decorate your home or base in your Minecraft world. Or to even hide some secrets as well, because that's what paintings are also used for. To hide some good valuables, if you will. Okay, so now let's move on to the next thing. Okay guys, so we're gonna get into finding where the trial chambers are soon, but first, we need a certain something to help us find one, which we're gonna talk to this gentleman right here. So, we need to have something called a Trial Explorer map, and in order to get one, you must level up your cartographer to a journeyman in order to unlock the trade for it. And looks luck will have it, I have some trade items right here, so normally they cost like 12 emeralds and a compass in order to get a Trial Explorer map like so. And if you take a look at the map, you can see that there's a little copper-like square on the map that indicates that there's a trial chamber nearby, so we are gonna head over there. But first, we're gonna head over to the water because there's one other thing I want to show you. So the other cool thing is that boats are now leashable, which means you can put your boats on a leash like this. So this is a great way to make sure that your boat doesn't drift away, and a great way for you to carry some mob passengers with you among the high seas. So now we're just gonna get into our little boat right here and pretty much move on to our next location. So I'll see you guys when I get there. Okay guys, so now we have arrived at our next area, so I'm going to put the boat on the leash here. So down that way will be where the trial chamber is, but before we go down there, we are actually going to check out the new variants of the tough blocks and also new copper block variants, starting with the new tough blocks. So as you can see, the tough blocks got new stairs, slabs, walls, chiseled version, polished versions of the stairs and walls right here. We got the bricked version right up here, and also a chiseled brick version as well, which look very nice, I must say. And you can get them all by putting them into a stone cutter right here and looking at your options like so, however you see fit. Okay guys, so now we're going to move on to the new copper block variants, which are right over here. So on the left, these are the regular variants of the new copper blocks, and on the right are the waxed versions. So what we've got that are new is we got chisel copper, copper doors, copper grate, copper bulb, which I'll explain more about that a little later, and we also got a copper trapdoor as well. And we also got the exposed version of those blocks, the weathered version, and of course, the fully oxidized version as well, which look very clean, I must say. And you can get them all, well, except for the door and trapdoor, through either the stone cutter or through a crafting table. Which, by the way, for the crafting recipes for the doors and trapdoors, it's pretty much the exact same as if you were crafting normal doors and trapdoors. Like so. And again, just put the copper blocks in a stone cutter like this to see your options like so. And these are the wax versions right over here. So now as for the copper bulb, let me explain more about that. So to craft this item, you just need 3 copper blocks like this, 1 blaze rod, and 1 redstone dust right here to make one of these. So the copper bulb is a new type of light emitting block that you can toggle on and off with a redstone signal. The light changes depending on the oxidation level, which the more it oxidizes, the dimmer the light gets. So let me show you what I mean by that real quick. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like when it's fully oxidized. As you can see, it looks very, very dim at this stage. And if you notice at the middle, it's this redstone crystal is lit up in the center because there's a redstone block there. But you actually don't need it once it's fully lit up like that. It will still keep running like this. And you can use an axe to reverse the oxidation. And the more you do so, the brighter the light will be. So when it's at this stage, that's when you want it to be, so that way you can fully bright up the room. It's pretty nice, I must say. The design is really clean on this. Okay, so now that you've seen that, now we're gonna head down to the trial chamber, so be back in a sec.
Meanwhile.
Okay guys, so now we're gonna jump down all the way here. And this is the exact spot I dug to where the trial chamber is, just beyond this layer of tough bricks. But before we do that, let me grab this book. Also, let's get digging. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the trial chambers. So before we get into some heavy-duty combat, let me give you a little background about the trial chambers themselves. So the trial chambers are a new underground structure where players can explore and put their combat skills to the test. It is filled with different kinds of rooms, traps, and hidden treasures inside chests, barrels, and even decorated pots when you break them. They are mostly found around the same layer as Deep Slate, which is kind of deep from where we are right now. Okay, so now let's go over what you can expect from inside the trial chambers. Okay guys, so these are some of the first 4 things that we're gonna go over of what you can expect within the trial chamber. So we're gonna start with the trial spawners. The trial spawners are a new type of spawner that can only be found within the trial chambers. Unlike the normal spawners, the trial spawners spawn a limited number of mobs each time. The difficulty of the trial spawners will increase the more players you have near the trial spawners with you, so make sure you keep that in mind when you bring your friends along with you. When all the mobs from the trial spawners have been defeated, the trial spawners will eject a number of rewards too, so make sure you stick around to collect those rewards. And another thing is that after the trial chambers have launched their wave of mobs, the trial chambers have a 30-minute cooldown before spawning in a new wave of mobs. And just like the normal spawners, you cannot pick them up, not even with Silk Touch. So make sure you guys keep that in mind. So now we're going to move on to the new hostile mobs that were also added, starting with this guy, the Breeze. The Breeze is a new mob that moves around mostly by leaping around its target and shoots a new type of projectile called a wind charge, which I'll get into how that works a little later. The Breeze can deflect nearly any kind of projectile back to wherever or whoever it came from. The wind charges don't get deflected. Its wind charge can knock back entities in the area from direct or indirect hits, dealing a small amount of damage in the process, which can also affect certain blocks that are nearby, and I'll get into what those blocks are in just a second. They also drop a new item called Breeze Rods, which can be crafted into wind charges. There is one other thing they can be crafted into, but we're going to get into what that item is later on in this video, so let me show you what kinds of blocks the wind charges will affect now. Okay guys, so in front of me are the different types of blocks that will be effective if you use a wind charge, right over here. So this is a wind charge right here, and when you throw it like this, it creates a little wind burst effect. And you can actually use this to boost yourself in the process as well. Perfect for getting to higher places if you time it right. So anyway, the wind charge will do the following: flip doors that are not iron doors, gates and trap doors. They will also push buttons and flick levers. They will also ring bells. And as you just saw there, they also put out candles as well. So lots of things that you can do with the wind charges. You can even make some sort of mini game out of this, kind of like what I did here, kind of like a little shooting range. Pretty nice, huh? Okay, so now that you've seen that, let's move on to our next hostile mob. Okay, so our next hostile mob is this mossy looking skeleton here, the Bogged. So the Bogged is a new variant of the skeleton that shoots poison-tipped arrows. And unlike the normal skeleton, they have slightly less health, and they attack slightly slower as well. They will also drop 2 mushrooms if sheared, either red, brown, or both. unlike the breeze, you can find the bogged outside the trial spawners, which they spawn naturally in either the swamp or mangrove swamp biomes. They also have a chance of dropping poison-tipped arrows when you eliminate them. So now that we've gone over that, let me show you a quick clip of me taking on those in trial spawners. Okay guys, it's go time. Bring on the trials. Oh, so we got a bunch of chaos going on right off the bat here. Man, these skeletons are not messing around here. Get out of here. Breeze is pushing me around so much. Hey, where do you think you're going? I've got you now. And you're gone. Is that the last of them? Oh, looks like there's one more. Come here, you. Nope, it's stuck in the comments. Now's my chance. Come on. And it's gone. Is that the last of them? Yes, it is. And look at that. What did I get? I got 2 trial keys and a cooked chicken. Actually, I should eat this chicken. That was delicious. And since I got 2 trial keys from those 2 trial spawners, this is actually a great time to go over the next thing. So, let's do that. Okay, guys, so now this is a great time to go over our next thing, which is the vault. So the vault is a new block that holds random treasures and loot that can only be unlocked with a trial key, which we did just obtain. And they can only be found in trial chambers if you defeat all the mobs within it. As I just said, trial keys can only be found as trial spawner rewards and will be consumed on use. The mouth of the vault will open if a player has not unlocked it yet and is nearby. You can only open a vault once per player. Then you will need to find another one. The mouth of the vault will stay closed if you already unlocked it. So as you can see by this vault, its mouth is open, but when I step away, it closes. That's a nice little detail, I must say. So now, let's go open some vaults that we found as our reward. Okay guys, so here's one of the vaults right here. Now let's see what we've got from it. Okay, so it looks like we got some arrows, golden carrots, a banner pattern, which is gusters, which I'll go over that a little later. And we got some iron too. Not bad. And as you can see, the mouth of it will stay closed because I've already unlocked it. And we still got one more key, so let's go find another one real quick. Okay, so I just found another one, and let's see what we get from this. Oh, and actually, you can see right here of some of the rewards you can get randomly, so let's see what I get. Ooh, there's a chance for some enchanted stuff. Golden apple, honey, and a shield. Huh, not bad. I could actually go for some honey bottles right now. That was actually delicious. So now, let's move on to the next thing. Okay guys, so now we're gonna go over some of the other things that you can find when venturing down into the trial chambers. Starting with, we got new pottery shards. So some of the new pottery shards we got are Flow, Guster, and Scrap. And these are the designs right here, which look very good, I must say. And again, these can be found as decorated pots scattered all over trial chambers, so make sure you keep an eye out for those. They will also contain some loot as well, so that's another good reason to find them. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the banner patterns. So these are the 2 new banner patterns that we got here. the Flow, which is this one on the left, and then the Guster, which is this one on the right. And the Guster is actually the one I managed to find in one of those vaults as well, which looks exactly like a Breeze. Like this one, I'd say is one of my favorites so far. And as for where you can find them, you can find the Flow banner pattern in vaults, while the Guster pattern you can find in ominous vaults, which I'll get into what those are a little later on. So now we're going to move on to the new armor trims that we got. Two of them, which are the Bolt armor trim and the Flow armor trim. So this is what the Bolt armor trim looks like, and this is what the Flow armor trim looks like. And as for duplicating them, so all you need is one of the smithing templates for the Bolt armor trim, 7 diamonds like this, and you just need 1 copper block. Oh, I had them flipped. There we go. And you get 2 of the Bolt armor trims, like so. And as for the Flow armor trim, it's pretty much the exact same thing, except you just need 7 diamonds like this, the trim right here, and 1 breeze rod, like so. And that's how you duplicate them. And here are some of the material colors for the 2 armor trims right here. So the bottom is for the Bolt armor trim, and the top is for the Flow. So you got one for copper, amethyst, iron, gold, diamond, emerald, redstone, quartz, lapis, and of course, netherite. All very good designs indeed. So now, let's move on to the next thing. Okay guys, so we're in another section of the trial chambers, and now we're going to go over the new potion effects / status effects that have been added into this new version of Minecraft. So these are some of the first 4 that are in potions / tipped arrows, which are wind charged, weaving, oozing, and infection. So I'm going to go over each of those in the form of the tipped arrows to best demonstrate them. So starting with wind charge. So when affected entities are hit with this potion effect, they will create a wind burst when they are killed. So I'm going to put the wind charge arrows in my offhand so I can demonstrate this. So I'm going to spawn a zombie. So actually you can see when they're hit with the wind charge, they get like a little wind charge potion effect. And as you saw when that zombie died, it created a little wind burst effect. And this can be brewed as a potion by using an awkward potion and a breeze rod in a brewing stand. So now we're going to move on to the next potion effect, weaving. Affected entities that are killed will spread cobwebs. Affected entities can move through cobwebs slightly faster than normal. And this can be brewed as a potion with using an awkward potion and a cobweb block. Let me get that real quick. This is the weaving arrow. So when I hit the zombie and do it again, it creates a nice small chunk of cobwebs. And actually let me drink the potion real quick so I can also demonstrate how fast you move through the cobwebs. Like as you can see, that is actually much quicker in the cobwebs, so this could be pretty handy if you wander into a spider's den. Definitely. So now let's move on to the next potion effect, oozing. Affected entities that are killed will spawn in 2 slimes. Can be brewed as a potion using an awkward potion and a slime block. So when I hit the zombie with the oozing, upon it being killed, 2 slimes spawned in its place. Can be pretty handy if you're very low on getting slime balls. Just like that. Okay, and we're actually going to keep that zombie there. We can go over our next potion effect, which is affected. Affected entities have a small chance of spawning in 1 to 2 silverfish when hurt. So this is pretty much what I mean. So let me get the infected arrows. So as you can see, the zombie's affected. Now, when I punch him, this zombie has a small chance of spawning in silverfish. Oh, and as you can see, a silverfish just spawned right there. So make sure you guys keep that in mind when using the infected arrows. Okay guys, so now we're going to move on to our last two status effects, which are actually quite different from the first four we just went over. Before I do go over those last two status effects, let me go over one quick thing. The potion effect, known as Bad Omen, has been changed, activating under two special conditions. First of all, it no longer happens right away after killing a raid captain outside a raid. You now get Bad Omen by consuming the new item, Ominous Bottle. The effects of it will last for an hour and 40 minutes. You can find one either as uncommon loot in any vault or by defeating a raid captain outside a raid. There are 5 levels of Ominous Bottles, so make sure you keep that in mind. They will also break when consumed and can stack up to 64. So now let's talk about the new types of status effects that happen. The first is Raid Omen. When you enter a village, Bad Omen will turn into Raid Omen, which after 30 seconds of it expires, naturally the raid will begin. So let me show you a quick clip of that. Okay, so when I drink the Ominous Bottle in the village, this is what the Raid Omen looks like right here, which after it all goes down, the raid will begin. And they give off some cool red skull particle effects, which I really like. But if you really don't want to start a raid, all you gotta do is just drink a milk bucket, and the effects will go away and the raid will not start. So that is what the Raid Omen will do. It's pretty much the new replacement for starting a raid in the place of Bad Omen. So let's go back and talk about the next kind of Omen effect. Okay, so the next kind of Omen effect is the Trial Omen. When you are near a normal trial spawner, Bad Omen will turn into a Trial Omen, turning the spawners to ominous, which I'm going to show you off later on in this video, but we're not going to do that just yet. So let's go over the next few things before we get into that. Okay guys, so these are the ominous versions of the trial spawners and the vault, starting with the trial spawner right here. So the ominous trial spawners are a variant of the trial spawners that can only be found in the trial chambers, obviously, through an ominous trial. This offers more powerful phase of the trial spawner, which provides another level of challenge for the player. And like its normal counterpart, the difficulty will increase the more players you have when you're near one. When all mobs from the ominous trial spawners have been defeated, the ominous trial spawners will eject even better rewards, rare ones too. The normal trial spawners turn into ominous trial spawners when a player has Trial Omen, that's what I said earlier, and the trial spawners will glow blue instead of orange, just like you see right next to me. Mobs from the ominous trial spawners will most likely have enchanted armor for added level of difficulty, so make sure you guys be prepared for that. And of course, just like the normal trial spawners, you cannot pick it up, not even with Silk Touch. So these look pretty menacing, I must say. And this is the ominous version of the vault. The ominous vault is a variant of the normal ones that holds more valuable treasures and loot randomly that can only be unlocked with an ominous trial key, which are these things right over here, which can only be found in trial chambers. Ominous trial keys have a chance to be ejected as an ominous trial spawner reward. Also, the key will be consumed. Just like its normal counterpart, the mouth of the vault will open if a player hasn't unlocked it yet is nearby. And just like its normal counterpart, you can only open a vault once per player. So now that we went over that, let's prepare for some heavy duty combat in the ominous trial spawners.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so I'm fully decked out in netherite gear this time because again, ominous trials are supposed to be even tougher. So now I'm going to consume this ominous bottle right here. And as you can see, it gives me bad omen, but I'm going to step right into this room right here and begin the ominous trial. So let's go into survival. Take enchanted golden apple as well. And let's get into it. And as you can see, that trial spawner just turned into an ominous. And some of these skeletons have enchanted bows and armor, which makes it quite challenging. Oh, cave spiders. Okay, let me quickly take one of these potion of strength to give me some more power. And that's the thing about these ominous trial spawners, they're just gonna spawn a little more mobs than usual, because they're supposed to be an added level of difficulty. Oh, and these ominous trial spawners will pretty much spawn in potions above you periodically like that, so make sure you watch out. Otherwise, you'll get hit. So where are those other mobs? And you get out of here. There goes one more. Oh, I see one right there. And that should be the last of them, so yay for me. So it looks like I got some cooked steak from that, which actually works out great because I need some food desperately. And what do we get from the other? Oh, we actually got the ominous trial key, which is actually perfect because the ominous vault is right over there. It's a good thing I brought some ladders for this, so let's get a bunch of ladders like this. And see what we get from the ominous vault. We got a bunch of good stuff. So I got the armor trim flow, enchanted crossbow piercing 3 and quick charge. Nice. Some more emeralds. And I believe that was it. But yeah, not a bad way to end off a ominous trial, you might say. So now, let's move on to the final thing this update has to offer, so be back in a sec. Actually, before we do get into that, there is one other thing I almost forgot to show you, which is there are new music discs that you can find within the trial chambers. Starting with this one called Precipitous, hopefully I said that correctly. There's also Creator and Creator Music Box. So as for where these can be found, this first one can be found in normal vaults, the second can be found in ominous vaults, and the third can be found inside decorated pods, rarely. So let me know in the comments below which one of these three is your favorite, if you listen to them. Okay, so now that we've seen that, now let's go over the final thing this update has to offer. Okay guys, so now we're going to move on to the final thing, which is the new weapon, the mace. So in order to craft the mace, you just need one breeze rod like so, and also you need this item called a heavy core, which you can get if you successfully defeated an ominous trial, that sort of thing. So you gotta make sure you get lucky in those kinds of challenges. And when you do all that, you get this awesome weapon, the mace. So more about the mace and also the enchantments that come with it. I should probably do weather clear because that thunder is loud. So the mace is a new type of weapon that allows you to smash your enemies from above. The higher you fall from, the more damage you do to the enemies. And when you land a hit, you are immune to fall damage. But if you miss your mark, you will take massive fall damage. Depends on how high you fell. So let me quickly demonstrate. Oh, where did the enemy come from? Never mind. So when you land a hit, I take no fall damage. And like I said, if you miss your mark, you'll take quite a bit of fall damage. Okay, so now let's move on to some of the new enchantments that come with the mace. So the first one is called Density. This increases the damage of the mace per falling block per density level, meaning you'll deal more damage when you attack from above. This is a common enchantment which can be accessed in an enchanting table or on an enchantment book from random loot chests. So there are 5 levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And obviously you want to have the highest level. So again, the higher you fall from, the more damage you'll do in the process. And also you realize you get that little smash particle effect the higher you fall and deal damage with the mace, which is pretty cool. So the next enchantment is called Breach. This reduces the effectiveness of armor on the target, meaning that some damage will bypass the armor's overall protection. It is a rare enchantment which can be accessed also from an enchanting table or an enchantment book in random loot. So there are 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is pretty helpful if you encounter mobs with armor. Pretty much through the ominous trial ones is more likely to happen. Okay guys, so I've given my zombie some armor so I can demonstrate the Breach enchantment. So as you can see, it will pretty much do massive damage even if the enemy is wearing armor, so this is perfect if you're in the ominous trial events like I was earlier on. So with that, let's move on to the final enchantment for the mace, which is Wind Burst. This creates a wind burst when you land a hit on an enemy and will launch you upwards in the air. Note that your fall damage immunity won't happen if you land a hit. Unique enchantment this is, which can only be found in an ominous vault. Also, you can only get Wind Burst 1. To increase the level of this enchantment, you must combine them in an anvil. So let me demonstrate. So there are 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to demonstrate all 3 of them so I can show you how high they'll propel you back up. Starting with Wind Burst 1, which as you saw almost repelled me 10 blocks up. This time we're going to do Wind Burst 2. And as you can see, that repelled me 15 blocks up, much higher than the last one. Now we're going to test out Wind Burst 3. Here we go. And as you saw there, that repelled me up very high. We're up like 20 blocks, which is insane. And as you can see, you gotta be very careful because if you do not land another hit, you will take some damage. And I'm lucky I lived on half a heart right there. And yeah, that is pretty much all there is to offer in the Minecraft 1.21 Tricky Trials update. And that, my friends, is gonna wrap up for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that guys, thanks for watching, and I've got another command block tutorial video coming up a little later today. And I'll see you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye!